Welcome back to the Mental Dietitian Podcast. I'm your host, Ahren Lynch-potter, and this is episode 89, the importance of winning in your life. Now, I've been winning lately, and I've been losing lately. And I was really thinking about what this podcast should be about. And I want to define winning in the first 30, 60 seconds of this podcast, right? What is winning? Winning, in my opinion, is anything that you overcome within yourself. That's a win. And it can be very different things for very different people. So, for example, if you are battling crippling depression, getting out of bed is a win. If you are trying to get healthy, eating a healthy meal is a win. If you're trying to lose weight, eating a good meal is a win. If you're trying to quit alcohol, not having a drink one more day is a win. You're winning. You're on a winning streak. And last month, I was in a real kind of losing mentality. And it really is the difference between scarcity and abundance. Abundance is a winning mentality. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have setbacks. It doesn't mean life isn't going to throw things at your way, but you've got a winning mentality. And a lot of people think, I know people in my life that when they hear the word winning, they think it means stomping on other people, getting whatever you want. That's not winning. That's not winning. Winning is an abundance mindset. Winning is being better than you were yesterday. Winning is looking at the man or the woman in the mirror and being like, you know what? I'm proud of you. You're doing better than you were yesterday. And even if you're going through a hard time, you're winning because you're still here. You're winning because you're feeling it. You're present with it. Winning in life is not running away from life and not hiding from it. That's what winning is to me. And there's many ways to win. Winning could be being an amazing mother. Winning could be reconnecting with that sister that you had a bad relationship with. Winning could be setting a boundary and you weren't that good at it. There's many ways to win, but winning is important. These small wins. And obviously I did an episode 2 episodes ago on, what was it about? I just had a mental brain block. Give me a second here, people. That's so wild. I literally was just on a tangent. I had a thought in my head and then it's gone. And I'm back. 87, the only real way to build your confidence, which was about keeping promises that you make to yourself. This is a very similar theme, but I wanted to talk about winning. And what is the difference between like a hockey team or a sports team that's on a winning streak, and what's the difference between a team that's on a losing streak? Because if we zoom out game per game, there's no real difference. There's still the same amount of people on the team. They've got the equal opportunity to win. But the difference is that one is mentally on a winning streak and the other one is not. And winning and losing happen in our own minds. It happens up here first, before anything. And why is it important to win? Why is winning important? Why am I making this podcast? And why am I talking about this theme? Because I've felt what it feels like to lose. And to lose is to look at the world through the lens of, why is all this shit happening to me? Why is this all going on? Why me? Why me? Oh, of course this is going to happen. Of course. That's a losing mentality. That's a life's happening to me mentality. A winning mentality is life's happening for me. There's a really famous video by Jocko Willink called Good. And if you haven't watched it, pause this right now, go to YouTube and type in Jocko Good. That's a winning mentality. And it goes something like this. It's like, didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted. Good. Got injured. Good. Didn't go to plan. Good. Gives you opportunity to get better. Gives you opportunity to learn. It gives you the opportunity to change something, to do something. Good. Things didn't go your way. Good. This happened in your life. Good. And that's looking at life through the lens of life happens for me, not to me. Been working with a client recently, and we were really talking about that. And this woman, for a long time, thought that life was meant to be painful. That was the mentality. And that was a losing mentality for that person. And what do I mean by that? Doesn't mean that person's a loser. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a losing mentality, which makes you feel like you're always losing. You never get ahead. And a lot of things can cause this. Childhood trauma, all kinds of things. All kinds of things can get to that mentality where somebody's just down, can get that depressive, low vibrational state, that shame-based state. And I gave this person a beautiful quote that I heard from a man called Dr. Dan Engel. And the quote is that suffering is pain divorced from meaning. And if we can find meaning in our pain, then we can no longer suffer. And this person had been going through some ketamine infusions, this woman. And she started to find meaning to her pain, which had been going on for 40, 50 years. 50 years of a certain way of looking at the world, which after doing some ketamine infusions really helped her, really helped her. And she was able to see that actually this has meaning. She now has shifted to a winning mentality where there's some big things that have been happening in her life lately, hard things, but she's approaching them through the lens of, well, how can I want to be present with this? Like, I felt sad and I cried and I felt angry, but she continued on and she persevered because she has found meaning to her pain. She has alchemized and transmuted her suffering and seen that it's all got her here. That is a winner. That is a winning mentality. That shit gets me so excited. And I get to coach her through that. And it is beautiful. And I love this human being. And it's so amazing to see somebody in a short period of time go from that losing, scarcity, fear-based mentality to that abundance, love, winning mentality, where the world is full of possibilities. And it doesn't mean you're not going to feel the pain. It doesn't mean you're not going to be sad. It doesn't mean you're not going to feel frustrated. It means that when life floats these logs down the river. I love this mentality of this analogy. Imagine your life as a river, and a lot of people, they block their river off. So a big log of life floats down the river, and they let it pile up, and they let it start blocking the river, and then the river can't flow anymore. And we're not going to stop these logs floating down the river. Death, divorce, loss of a job, strange things that happen all of a sudden. But what we can do is we can not clog the river. So we're constantly flowing, constantly present with our life. That's a winner, in my opinion. Somebody that can be present with life and whatever life throws your way, and not shy away from it, and not run away from it, and find meaning to it, and see, how is this happening for me? Where can good this is happening. Not good like, oh my God, this is a great thing. It's like, good, what can I do here? What is the lesson here? because I'd rather see the world through that lens than the lens of like, oh, I'm not surprised. Oh, this shit always happens to me. That mentality will never get you anywhere. And the importance of winning and keeping little promises you make to yourself, just like I did on episode 87. If you're in these down states and these depressive states, a win is having a conversation about it. A win is getting a workout in. And if you're already moving and grooving and you're already winning in life and you've got some momentum, you know what it feels like to be on a winning streak. One of my favorite dudes on social media, his name's Charlie. And he's literally, his Instagram handle is Charlie. So go follow him. He does amazing things. He helps out people. He does wonderful things in the world. He makes people's wishes come true. He used to be a manager for a bunch of rappers, quit that, and now took all his marketing expertise, all his business expertise, and I think he made something called the Dream Team, where he goes and makes people's dreams come true, helps people rebuild their homes after cyclones and natural disasters, and people who are sick with terminal illnesses. He helps them and their family. He's a wonderful human being. But he's got this tattoo right here on his forearm, and it says winning streak. And I saw that, I was like, man, that's cool. And he's like, even when it doesn't feel like I'm on a winning streak, I'm always on a winning streak because I'm grateful for being alive. Like, it's a win just to be here. It's a win to have the body that you have right now. If you're healthy and you're feeling good and you got 2 legs, if you got 2 feet and a heartbeat, you're winning. You're winning. So how can you stack these wins? How can you build these wins? How can you approach the day and be like, where am I winning in life? Even though maybe it doesn't feel like it, because sometimes it doesn't feel like it. And sometimes it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm not winning, but how can I get back to that winning mentality of stacking these wins and being proud of myself and looking at the person in the mirror and be like, you know what? You've been through things. You've had ups, you've had downs. As Macho Man said, the great WWE superstar, I've soared with the eagles and I've slithered with the snakes. And we've all soared with the eagles and we've all slithered with the snakes. And we've all had our ups and downs. But can you find where you're winning and take that mentality and apply it to other areas of your life? It's my big message. I was doing a podcast with a wonderful human being, Dave Pookie. We've got episodes coming out next week. It's an absolute banger. And I have this mentality, this principles that I see the life through, which is these 5 great principles, which is being successful physically with your health, eat good food, exercising regularly, moving, stretching your body, learning about your body, how it moves, what it can and cannot do. And if you're winning in that arena, good for you. Relationally, how's your relationships? How's your relationship with your spouse? Guys, are you being vulnerable? Are you sharing what you're going through with her, which will allow for a deeper connection for her to trust you more? Because a real man doesn't hide, especially from himself. And men that don't express and feel the full array of emotions in a healthy way, they're hiding from themselves. Sorry about that. Went on a little rant there. That's number 2, relationships. Your mindset. Are you reading books, listening to podcasts? Why is this podcast called The Mental Dietitian? Because I wanted this podcast, not me, to be the mental dietitian. I'm not the mental dietitian. The podcast is. It's a mental supplement. It's a diet for your brain. I want to give you good, nutritious brain food so you can change your life. And that's why I started this podcast. Number 4, financially. Are you winning financially? Are you in crippling debt right now? I've felt what that feels like. It's not very fun. I get it. I felt it. I know what that feels like. How can you win? How can you change that and turn it into a win? Where can you optimize? What skills do you need to learn about how to make more of an income? Do you need to shift laterally? Do you need to change and do something else? The world is a wonderful, beautiful place. There's so many ways to make money. And if you want to listen to how to make money, listen to my last episode, number 88. The abundant mentality, the go-giver mentality. That's how you make more income, by touching more people's lives. Number 4. Number 5 is spiritually. Are you spiritually connected? Or do you think this is all just an accident? If you guys follow me on Instagram, I shared the mentality of 10 generations ago, and I'm going to share it again. You have a mom and dad, obviously. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this. That's 2 people. They have a mom and dad, your grandparents. That's 4 people. They had moms and dads. That's 8 people. That's 3 generations back. 4 generations is 16 people for you to exist. 5 generations is 32 people for you to exist listening to this right now. 64 people is 6 generations. 128 people is 7 generations. 256 people is 8 generations. Do you know, can you see what I'm saying? 512 people, 9 generations. 1,024 people, 10 generations. Those 1,024 people had to navigate life, make it through childbirth. How many years ago is 10 generations? It's about 500 to 700 years ago. What was life like in the 13 to 1500s? For them to even make it through childbirth, let alone to the age of 10, let alone to the age of 15 to 20 is probably when they had kids, that had to survive wars and famines and droughts, and to not die on that battlefield, and to not have their village burned. Also, you could sit here and be here, and you think that's a fucking accident? It's not an accident. It's so beautifully orchestrated, this cosmic, divine miracle that you are, let alone the likelihood of the sperm cell that your dad I could say something very crude there. You know what I'm saying? You were the sperm cell that beat the trillions of other sperm cells. The likelihood of you existing just with the sperm cells, like 1 trillion to 1, let alone the odds of the 1,024 people 10 generations ago all making the right decisions, then the 512 people all making the right decisions, then the 256 people all making the perfect decisions, then the 128 people all making the great decisions, and the 64, 56, I don't know what it is, whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about. I did the math. I'm trying to do the math backwards. It's hard. But you get my point. If you don't think that this is some kind of, you're put here for a reason, and you don't get really dialed in spiritually and realize that you're the only person to ever exist that is you, and you have your own unique gifts. So they're the 5 areas of life that if you are winning in each of these areas, you're a holistically successful human being. And my passion with coaching, and if you want to learn more about my coaching, DM me on Instagram, reach out to me on Instagram, because my goal is to help all of my clients win in all these 5 areas of life. And I'm still working on it. I got places and I'm not winning as much as I'd like to be, but I'm on the journey and I'm on a winning streak. Nothing will stop me. I'm going to be winning till I die, because I want to make progress. And it's not from a place that I'm not good enough. It's from a place that I'm amazing and I'm beautiful and I love who I am. And let's see how amazing this life can be. How much can I feel? How deep can I feel? What can I achieve? Because we've only got one shot at this. It'll all come to an end one day. And whatever you believe happens after that is whatever you believe happens after that. But We're here right now. It's time to do something with our lives because we weren't an accident. You're here on purpose. So I love you guys. Go win in your life, whatever that may be. If it's eating a healthy meal, if it's stopping that bad vice and replacing it by going to the gym, going for a walk, if it's booking that holiday you've always wanted to go on, traveling around the world, whatever winning feels like to you, keep going. You've got this. And if you ever want to inquire about coaching and you're interested in that, message me on Instagram, Ahren Lynch-potter. I'd love to chat with you about any areas of those lives where you feel stuck. I know I can help you. I love you guys. We'll talk to you next week.